let's start. Thank you for joining the session. My name is Yorgos, and I'm the founder and managing director at ICIPIA, a Drupal agency in Greece. I would like to thank very much the Drupal community of Bulgaria for the support, especially Maria, that she was supportive for the first time. I had prepared something in Bulgarian, but I'm not sure if I'm going to tell it well. Уважаеми колеги от Bulgaria, много ви благодарим за поканата и гостоприемството.
No, this is perfect Bulgarian. Thank you very much.
Okay, but I will continue in English. So,
Now again in Icelandic.
Icelandic, no, Hilmar is very, very difficult for me. So, we will trace the journey of the BikeAlert project from its inception during the initial client meeting through to the successful launch of the platform. So we are going to see how we tackle the project's complexity right from the specification phase, the agile methodology we employ to ensure flexibility, our approach to the user experience, some smart features were integrated to enhance UX, our strategies for integrated with Microsoft Navision ERP, some techniques we utilize to handle performance issues, the measurable benefits that we had, and I would like to have an interactive discussion about the future of Drupal Commerce. So, some words about the client. BikeAlert is a Greek-owned but very huge client that they have their supply chain in China. They have their logistics centers in Europe and also in the United States, and the offices are in Greece. So the project was to redesign actually their B2B platform. They're selling motorcycle parts. So the challenge was that if Drupal is suitable for big e-commerce projects. The second question is if we can feel confident against the competition that targets e-commerce like Shopify, Magento, you know, all of these platforms. How BikeAlert became a big challenge for us because we need to convince the client that Drupal can handle their case, and how we did it. And yes, we have now BikeAlert.gr platform launched. And I think the most important question is if, as Drupal agencies, we need to invest more in e-commerce industry. So the facts are against us, for sure. Commerce projects make up a very small percentage of the total Drupal projects. Only 45,000 projects are using Commerce Core out of 750,000 projects that are using Drupal Core. So it's only 6% of the total Drupal projects. The numbers are getting worse over the years. The blue one is the contribution of Commerce One for Drupal 7 projects, and the orange one is the contribution of Commerce 2 for the versions from 8 to 10. It's obvious that it's decreasing year by year. This is a slide from the last year's presentation in DrupalCon Lille about the safe harbors of Drupal. As you see, education, government, non-profit, media. Commerce is not in the first page. Actually, it's in the third page. And this is the answers of the Drupal agencies. I gave the same answers because for us too, Drupal Commerce is not in the first page of our projects. So, as we know, Drupal is particularly strong in the public sector due to its robust security features, flexibility and scalability. But in the private sector, Drupal's market share is more modest, and particularly among enterprises and organizations with complex digital needs. So, the odds were against us, but when something is important, as Elon Musk said, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. So, how it started? It was a Sunday morning, and a client of a web magazine that we did, Motomag, called me in the telephone. It was Sunday, so I didn't want to answer because you know that if a client calls you on Sunday, never it's for a good reason. But I answered the call, and he was with the boss of BikeAlert because he promoted his products in the magazine, and he asked me to take over the old Drupal 7 site that we had, just to keep it in life for some moments, for some months, because they decided to move to another platform. So it was a lead from the word of mouth. I think word of mouth is the most important funnel when we speak about private projects. That was the old website that they had. Obviously, very bad UI, very bad UX, very bad Drupal code. The structure was not the best. They need a very huge server in order to operate this website. So we had a client with a very bad experience with Drupal. So they didn't want to talk even that we can make their new one in Drupal. So it was very difficult for us to convince them. When we have checked the client, we realized that he was a very huge one. I mean, supply chains in China, presence in the United States. It was a very huge client, so we need this project, and we try to convince them. They have presence in 90 countries, more than 300 partnerships, more than 400 people, and their facilities are more than 20,000 square meters. So when we realized that we talk with a client like BikeAlert, we realized that we had to convince a huge client who was already disappointed from Drupal. So our opinion was that Drupal Commerce can handle their new case, but the client asked to show him how can we do that. It was a matter of honor for us. We need to convince him that Drupal is the best choice for him, but it was not difficult. So, in the beginning, we note down the cons and the pros. For sure, the cons for Drupal Commerce are more. I mean that every search on the web for Drupal Commerce sucks, especially in comparison with the other platforms. I mean, compared with Shopify or Magento. So that was not so good. The majority of the marketeers didn't support Drupal. So the marketeer of the client told him that no, you need to change platform. There is lack of portfolio. This is a problem too, because we try to convince him, and we would like to show him some cases with other commerce projects from Drupal, but it was very difficult to find some. Our client invested a lot of money to adopt Microsoft Navision ERP, and also we tried to find some other cases integrated with Drupal, and we didn't find even one. So for him, it was difficult to convince him that we can integrate Microsoft Navision with Drupal without show to him any case. So now the advantages. The advantages was that we have just launched another significant Drupal e-commerce project for a Belgian client. So we use that as a portfolio. The second was Academica. I don't know if you know this project. It's a project from Frontcom. They present this project, is a project with millions of products, with a lot of functionalities, with a lot of integrations. They present this project to DrupalCon Prague 2 years ago. So for us, it was a very good case to convince the client that Drupal can handle his case. The second one was Transgourmet. I don't know if someone from here is from 1X. Transgourmet was the second project that I present to him, because it was a very complicated and very good project in order to convince someone that Drupal Commerce can handle his case. Also, our Drupal team took over the Drupal 7 in no time, and that was relaxing for him because we showed him that Drupal was not the problem. The problem was the bad code and the bad structure from the previous developer. So we tried to convince him that Drupal is not the problem. Some other benefits was that we are very familiar with Agile methodology, so we explained to him very detailed how can we handle his project. And the last one, but in my opinion, is very important, is that as Drupal agencies, we are working more with government and education, so we are not so proud about our UI. Because you know that government projects, they are not having some stunning UI most of the times. But we are very lucky because we have a very good design team. So from the first prototypes, I think that we convinced him that we can handle a project. So what we did, we implement agile methodology. The initial RFP of the client, it was just 3-4 pages. So we need to make user stories, to define the Scrum team, to make the sprint planning, to schedule daily and weekly stand-ups. And also a very important conversation with the client was about the price. The Greek clients, and I know that that happens in Europe too, they are not convinced yet that we have to work with non-fixed price. So, agile methodology, you pay what you ask, and we are paid but what we have done. For the Greeks, it's not so easy to convince them that there is no price. We are going to pay as you go. So it was very difficult to convince him about that, but at the end, we did it. So that was, this is a screenshot from our Monday.com board. We defined five sessions in the Sprint Zero in order to define the specs. We talk about the shopping flow. We talk about the e-commerce features, a third session for the design, and the fourth session for the integration. And then we make the catch-up, and we present to him the planning. We also present to him our team that we set up about this project. So the Scrum Master, the lead developer, and the whole team. And we present to the client also our tools. I mean Monday.com and Slack. So design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. So let me show you some screens from the real. This is the new platform. As you see, it's clear, it's modern. Even if they sell motorcycle parts and not some fashion products. So we try to do our best. We made a very quick search using Solar. So it's very easy to find what you are asking for. This client has more than 20,000 SKUs. And if we add also the attributes, the products are very much. I think it's very nice UI for a project that selling motorcycle parts. I mean that we cannot have interesting content because all the photographs are about sprockets and performance. Performance was very important, so we implement Redis for caching. We implement Solar with Search API. We use Cloudflare as a CDN. Also, we use Ajax loading for parts of pages that change. And also, we develop a theme using component-based architecture to load CSS and JavaScript only as needed by each component. Checkout is a very important part of a commerce project. So it's better to show you the screenshot. You can choose your shipping method. Then you can see the availability of each location. And then you can decide if you would like to add this product in your order, or to put it as a back order. And when they have again availability, then the back order becomes an order. The most important integration was with Microsoft Navision. So we synced everything from there, products, info, attributes, prices, categories, the personalized discount that they have for each client in the Navision, customers' data and their shipping methods, and of course the orders and the invoices. So I would like to present some smart features that we have added. For sure, we have wish list, product listing, and search functionality inside cart page. most of the e-shops, they have these functionalities. But we have added saved orders, so the client can save an order and do it later or do it again. And the most important is that we're talking about clients that they order a very huge amount of products because they are wholesalers. It's a B2B platform. So we have made a functionality. They can upload just an Excel with all of these products, and everything is added to the cart automatically. The garage. So we're talking about clients that they are using motorcycle parts. Most of them, they are dealing with specific models of motorcycles. So what we did a functionality like that. So the wholesaler can choose the model. As you see, the first tile is Benelli TRK 502, and they can search for the products that are matching to this model. So regarding, let's say that we have a garage and we are dealing with some brands, so we can choose the models, and it's very easy for me to find the parts of this model that they are available. And of course, you can add more models in your garage, or you can remove. The dashboard. We tried to make an interesting dashboard with a lot of details and very UX-friendly. So we add there the live orders, the invoices, the garage functionality, the saved orders, the wish list, the preferences, and the back orders. And we try to make that very UI and UX friendly in order to help the clients browse in all the cases that we need to find. This is the dashboard, and the menu is on the left with all the choices. So at the end, we convinced the client. Now he believes that Drupal Commerce is second to none. It was not so easy, but they have results. We launched this project on the 1st of March. It's just 3 months, and the online orders completed are plus 60%, plus 15% the B2B customers using the platform. The turnover of the online orders are more than 39%, and online versus email and for orders are increasing by 5%. So it was not an only successful project for our company, it was also a successful project for the client too, and that is the most important. Also, BikeAlert is a strong candidacy for the UX/CX Awards. We're waiting for the results until the end of July, but we are in the short list with the first 3 projects, so we believe that we can take an award about this project. And now, the most important in my opinion, because that was our journey with the client, and is that if you believe that we need to target e-commerce projects. I guess that most of you are developers, so it's not a business decision, but I believe that it's a pity for Drupal to lose a dynamic market like that. E-commerce is growing very fast. In 2024, the commerce market is estimated to be worth 8.8 trillion. It has an annual growth rate of almost 16%. So it's a very pity for Drupal to lose all of this competitive market. On the other hand, the market say that, ask if we are interested about commerce, and I'm sure that most of the Drupal agencies, including me, I'm not outside this, we prefer to investigate huge tenders, government projects, or work for non-profits, or work with universities. We are like her. I don't know if you know Hermione. Hermione was a cute girl from Harry Potter that she used to be all the time in the libraries, taking huge books and read them. So I think most of the Drupal agencies were like that. We don't want to claim more projects from the dynamic market, and we are very safe because Drupal is very famous and secure in order to make government projects. The budget is higher sometimes, okay? but in my opinion, it's a pity to lose all of this dynamic market and to be safe only with government projects. I would like to discuss about that. My opinion is that we need to claim projects, but I would like to hear your opinion too about that. I don't know, Maria, you have experience with Germany, for example. Do you have any commerce project there?
Not really. We did one in Bulgaria, actually.
One in the last how many years?
Like 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it went pretty well, but we almost did it for free because it was too expensive for the Bulgarian companies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the issue here.
Anyone else that they have experience with commerce?
Yes. I actually built, and I built a very large e-commerce site for tire resale.
Tire?
Tires, yes. They sell.
Very similar with our project.
Very similar to what you did. We were dealing with. Thank you. We were dealing with a lot of parameters for each and every category. We are selling tires, we are selling rims, we are selling manifold exhausts. So there are, Drupal definitely shows the head over heels on not just how to sell e-commerce, but how we can differentiate the different products by having different parameters to each and every product category that we have.
Yes, but Drupal is, as you said, is very suitable to bake.
That's what I mean. We chose Drupal for that, but we also chose Drupal for the integration with other web services. So actually, because we have open registry for license plates in Iceland, you can actually enter your license plate number, and you will get every information. What tires to get for your car, what rims to get for your car, and exhausts and batteries and everything, and even dog cages.
In one next, I think you have Transgourmet. That is a very huge project. So, do you claim more and more commerce project now, or?
We were using Drupal Commerce in other several projects. Like, for instance, one is in Iceland. It's called Autoparts. But it's not very famous. That's why, like, it's probably.
But it's not a significant part of your work.
Yes, exactly. But the thing is, like, I am interested to know from your point of view where things are lacking, like why this is not happening from last few years, even though Drupal Commerce
I think it's a problem of the agencies. It's not a problem of the developers.
Yeah. But there is something. There is something why the other platforms are like going ahead and Drupal is lacking despite
if we have an important lead for a commerce project, if we don't have portfolio, if we don't have agencies that they would like to claim these projects, and they believe that, okay, let the others do the shops, we have more important projects to do. I mean that this project, it was more than 200K. For a Greek client, this is a very huge project. And it was not like, okay, let some others to do that. In my opinion, Drupal is very suitable, and it's very important to focus beside all the other things, and in commerce.
But like from a developer's point of view, what I think is like where we are lacking is so over the period of time, the e-commerce market has developed, and there is a thing called like performance. You benchmark sites with Amazon now because they're like you just like go there, like you click on any product and it just immediately pops up. If there is a lag and if it's like slightly slow, you're losing a customer there. That's how like I don't know, like, but in the back of your mind, it's somehow like it's taking more than like I don't know half a second. I just like jump on the other thing. I don't like even bother to look at it. So I think that's where the problem most of it. The other is like there are like less contributions, and we have like less modules or like connectors available. Like for instance, you mentioned there was nothing available for connecting with the Microsoft Dynamics, and in e-commerce market
We have done the connection now.
Yeah,
If some other people would like to use that.
because like in e-commerce, like it's not about like only website. So there's a whole ecosystem behind, and somebody's using something. Most of them like Microsoft Dynamics and some POS system from some other organization.
Invoicing systems, some taxation systems are connected, government systems.
So it's like kind of a whole ecosystem, and you just like only taking a part of it, which is like a site, but the other part is missing. That's what my opinion is.
Thank you. I have some ideas, but I'm waiting for you to about what we have to do.
I also wanted to reflect on the state of the Drupal and e-commerce. I think that the problem is, especially on Balkans, and correct me if I'm wrong, we always think that the other guy is the fault. But actually, I think it's a Drupal fault, because Drupal is not trying to put itself as a very versatile tool, because when we are
Drupal
talking,
is not something. Drupal is the agencies, actually. If the agencies they don't like to attract more commerce projects, it's not Drupal that decides. I mean,
yes,
the
so,
tool.
so Drupal is trying to say, yeah, we are very powerful, but after that word powerful, we lack how powerful, and if people don't see example, as you saw it in your own case, it could present a problem. Then e-commerce is a very special thing. It's not about the coding. I mean, we can all do views, products, and so on very quickly, but the expertise in e-commerce is understanding how e-commerce works. It doesn't relate with the code, with database, with even what you said is about experience, having a good and responsive. But I can guarantee you that if you're buying a motorbike part, you're not going to look to Amazon, because there's a ton of things, and this is the specialized thing, and you want their service, but of course you want it to work good. But I think that the Drupal agencies are simply in other field. They're just not specialized in e-commerce, because in e-commerce it's the connection with the payment, connection with the stock, connection with the accounting, and you need to leverage all of that. And if you do that one time, you invested a lot for one client, and that's the mistake. So in order to be sustainable in e-commerce, you should do like 5, 4 or on a regular basis, and then you're like trained in doing e-commerce.
I totally agree with you, but we need to join forces to make that. I mean, if our company decide to make a commerce project by our own, it is impossible to build portfolio. So that must be a decision of Drupal Association or a decision of a committee of Drupal companies to say that we need to claim more, or if we don't need to claim more Drupal projects, commerce projects, we need to decide that, okay, Drupal is not good for commerce, we have to leave the others working for that.
Yes, and for instance, in Serbia, where I came from, if you say commerce is like, yeah, I know, WooCommerce, WordPress, and
or Magento, or Shopify, or all of this.
Yes, and Shopify has it's very easy for the salesman to make the sale. So we need to create an effort to show that it's achievable, and it's a good solution actually. But I wanted to ask you, because you've done a great job, can you tell us what what package of modules did you use, and what was the hardest thing to do in the whole process with creating the
First
site?
of all, I cannot tell you about the module because I'm not a technical guy.
I can answer.
But you, Panagiotis can help you this. Maria,
Okay.
5 o'clock is the dances.
Yeah, they are calling
So-
us for the lesson.
So I'm going to be more quick. Our ideas, we need to prove, in my opinion, we need to prove that we can handle large-scale e-commerce projects. I think that Drupal Association has to promote Drupal Commerce. Drupal agencies have to claim e-commerce projects. We need to promote our e-commerce portfolio. We need to contribute to improve commerce features because this is important too. We need to make some targeted events, maybe like Drupal Commerce Days, if everybody agrees. But I think the most important is this. If we don't have a rich portfolio, it's impossible to attract more projects. Something that it was impressive for me, when I was preparing my presentation, I asked ChatGPT, is Drupal a good choice for a complex e-commerce project? And I was surprised by the answer. In the integration capabilities of Drupal, ChatGPT told me that, for instance, Drupal Commerce can be integrated with Microsoft Dynamics as seen in the BikeAlert project. It was impressive for me. So I would like to thank you, the team that was worked for this project, especially Georgia, that she was the team leader, and under her guidance we keep the timelines and we launch a very successful project. And of course, Kelly, Theophilus, Giannis, and Antonis, that it was the rest of the team that worked for this project. Nobody's here. But if you would have some questions about that, you can ask Panagiotis. He knows a lot about the project.
Thank you
So,
very much.
thank you.